Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the $5 Thrift Challenge. I started this challenge with $5 in my pocket, went to Goodwill. I bought one item to resell online. I sold it, made some profit, reinvested that profit to buy a few more items, and then I've been doing that over and over again, using profit, buying items, selling items, over and over again until we've gotten to the point where we are at today, where I have done that and have made over $8,000 just from a $5 initial investment. And we have hundreds of items here that we have purchased, that we've resold. There's so many pieces that we've been going through in this challenge. And it really goes to show you that you can change your life. You can make a difference in your household, in your finances by doing something as simple as starting with $5. Every week I take you guys thrifting, we add some more items into the challenge, and I show you guys what we sold from the challenge from the weeks before. So let's see what has sold since the last time I saw you. So the first thing that sold is actually something I missed last week, but I'm so glad that I caught it. And it is this vintage Geiger wool jacket. I sold this on Depop. Love a Depop sale. You guys know I'm always preaching about how much I love Depop sales. But this Geiger wool jacket I picked up at an estate sale not too long ago. It sold for $41.11. They offered me that on Depop. From $41.11, we make $39.25. Great profit heading into the challenge bank. And then, y'all, I have been trying to catch up on some listing. And so I just listed this week, I listed that iPod that I picked up from a garage sale like 2 weeks ago maybe. And I listed it and it sold in one day for $140. Shut up. I paid like $1 or $2 for that at a garage sale, brand new in its box. It sold for $140. From $140 on eBay, we make $119.89 heading into the challenge bank, bringing us right back over our $8,000 cusp. I'm so happy. We had $8,000 last week, but then I spent quite a bit at the bins, and so we're back up in the $8,000 range, which is so exciting. The next thing I sold was the Coach jacket from that same video. I got that at a garage sale for $5. I had so many of you guys reaching out to me about this jacket, and I was so far behind, but I got it listed, and I believe this went to a viewer. But this Coach jacket I bought for $5. It sold for $52.50 on Depop. Love a Depop sale. Thank you for supporting me on Depop. If you're gonna buy from me, that's usually the best way to buy from me. But from $52.50, we make $50.16 heading back into the challenge bank. Then we sold this pair of Donald Pliner boots. They were the Devi boot, and they had this really cool like outer leather piece that kind of came down over the boot itself. I found these in the Salvation Army bins. So I paid $3.50 for these boots, and they sold on Depop for $50. So from $50, we make $47.77 heading into the challenge bank. And another viewer saw these shoes in my video from last week. The New Balances, I picked these up just last week and they sold so quickly. They were these really cool color blocked retro style New Balance sneakers. And so if this was you, thank you so much. But they sold for $50. She offered me $50 on eBay and I accepted. So $50 from $50 make $42.39. And that heads into the challenge bank. Then another really good sale. I just lowered the price of this yesterday. I was like, you know what? I think I'm asking a little bit too much for this. So I lowered the price from $125 to $100, and within the hour, it sold for that full asking price of $100, which I would have accepted that offer on a $125 piece. So sometimes you just gotta adjust your prices either up or down a little bit, and it'll move your item. It was the Oliphant dress. I just picked this up not too long ago when I went to my like little neighborhood thrift store, and it was such a beautiful dress. Sold for $100. From $100, we make $80 heading into the challenge bank. So we've got quite a few large sales this week, which is amazing. Then the next thing that sold was the vintage pink little Broncos, the Denver Broncos onesie that I found in the bins. I told you guys last week I sold that vintage Tinkerbell piece last week. I've sold vintage Curious George and Dora the Explorer. I found all these pieces in the same bin together at the Salvation Army bins, paid less than $1 for each one of them. And this one sold for $25 on eBay. And so for $25, we make $23.21 heading into the challenge bank. And I really have been enjoying selling these vintage kids' clothes. It's really easy when they have characters on them, I feel like. Those generally sell really quick. It's a little bit harder to sell something without a character, but it just depends on the piece you find. And then the last thing I sold since last week was this New Tags, the Zara Jacquard jacket that I picked up from a Goodwill. And I think I showed you guys when I was doing a whole reorganization of my basement, which I really need to give you guys an update on, showing you guys how many pieces we have in the challenge, because there's a lot. And so I need to do another count of all of that. Maybe next week I'll give you guys a little update of where we're at, because we're getting close to the end of our $10,000 goal. crazy. But anywho, from the new Attack Zara jacket, from $30, make $24 heading into the challenge bank, giving us a total today, when we go thrifting, of $8,384.76. We have so much good cash we have been building up. I'm so excited because I just looked at estatesales.net, which is where I find all of my estate sales near me. And there is an estate sale less than a 5-minute drive away from my house. So I'm so excited to go. I think it's the first day of the sale. So I am going to grab an IKEA bag. We're going to go looking at this estate sale together. And I found so many great pieces at estate sales recently. I found so many cool things there and at garage sales too. I've been really enjoying this aspect of living in Michigan. The estate sales are bomb. So let's go see what we can find. And it looks like a beautiful home. So I'll try to get some clips maybe of just what it looks like around it as well. But no further ado, let's go thrifting. So I rolled up to the estate sale and I was right. It was a Marshall Wilk one. And this is the outside of the home. As I was walking in, beautiful landscaping, tons of people. The backyard, this is crazy. At least for the area I live in the Grosse Points area. Some of the backyards can be wild. Mine is nowhere near this kind of style. This is amazing. Some beautiful like Christmas decor. It was actually pretty reasonably priced, but I didn't pick up anything for myself. You can see, oh my gosh, the pots with all the flowers are just stunning. There were not one, but 2 fountains in this backyard. It was wild. So many statues, amazing things. And so I made it to the very first bedroom on the first floor, and I saw that they had priced out a lot of these clothing, like that scuba looking thing from Lululemon. $40 was way too much. This Patagonia was a women's large, and it was only $24, and I didn't think that was terrible, especially for looking for yourself. And then pay attention, those are the prices. We'll come back to those later on when I show you guys what I got. But I did come across this piece. This was not marked, and so I was like, okay, I think it's a sweater maybe, by their standards. And I did pick that up. This is a beautiful New Attack's Burberry dress. So pretty, but they were asking $100 for it. And I didn't even know if I could get that online for it. It just kind of depends for Burberry. So I did not pick it up. And I also learned that there is no half off days at her sales. So I didn't come back, and I did find this little silk blouse that I thought was pretty. Mind you, this is all in the first bedroom. And so as you'll see with time, I find even better things when I go upstairs. And so I was taking way too long in this room. But I did put that in my cart for now, or in my bag, I should say. And I saw this beautiful blouse. I love a collar on a blouse. I just think it's so pretty. Lots of beautiful button downs in here, but the things that I actually ended up picking up after I saw everything, I was a little bit more selective and really kind of focused in on some sweaters that you'll see me find when we head upstairs. And so a lot of these pieces I don't end up buying. But this blouse I thought was also really on trend for right now. I could see somebody in the Parent Trap wearing it, you know. But it was from the brand Willie Smith. And I wasn't positive how much blouses were. I think they were like $4. But then I made it upstairs and oh my gosh, do you see that Minnie Mouse? I found this basket over here full of vintage children's clothing. I zoomed in a little too far. So many amazing kids pieces. I am so excited to show you guys the things I grabbed. They were $2 a piece. Look at this little sweater. The little bunnies. I cannot even handle it. The most amazing things in there. But then I made it to the actual closet. Look at this beautiful sweater. Again, not positive about sweaters and tops. I should have referred back to that video I took earlier, but I did grab that sweater. You'll see her in the haul, and she was, I think, mohair. I thought this was really cool. This pair of like kind of like culotte shorts, vintage from the Brooks Brothers. Absolutely amazing with like the sailor stripe and all these like postcards. Amazing. This other bedroom, I went to it last. It had the best clothing in it, and I could have been there first, but I didn't know. I didn't know the layout of the house, but that sweater you saw, woo, so good. I'm going to pick that up. But now I had to go back to another room because there was no lighting in that bedroom. Absolutely terrible lighting. So I came back to the room where I found all the kids' clothing, and I went by this little window to try to see things better because I was looking for flaws. You never know, especially when you're finding these vintage pieces. I'm like, I'm sure there's going to be a stain on something. There's going to be a hole somewhere, and I better know about it before I buy it because some of these prices were like at least $8 per piece. So I wanted to make sure I was doing a good job. Like this one, I found a little stain on it. And I really was going back and forth on this leaf sweater, but I thought it was so cute. The pink, I decided to put it in my maybe pile, and then you'll have to see if I decide to pick it up or not when we get to the haul portion. But I do always at an estate sale try my best to look things over for flaws. It's quite difficult at times, but I do try to find somewhere with good lighting. Like this bedroom had the best lighting in the house, and it was helpful because this sweater, I was obsessed with it, but I did find a hole in it, and I guess I could have sewn it, but I really don't need more projects. Even though watching this back, I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. I wish I could have picked up that sweater. There's so many things that I found, and so I didn't need to pick up the one item that I was never going to get around to fixing, But that sweater, no holes. Beautiful. That Fair Isle. Oh, it's so cool. You guys will see her in a little bit. And then the baby clothes. I started going through it because I was kind of in a fever dream when I was going through the kids' clothing. I was just like, oh yeah, put that in the cart, put that in the cart, put that in the IKEA bag. But when I went back through, I was like, oh my goodness, those were such great finds. I'm so excited to show you guys all of those pieces. I went to the basement and in a random basket found a pair of Red Wing shoes. I have no idea how much shoes are because those were like some of the only shoes there. But I did grab those to check out with, of course. This vintage mirror I thought was so adorable. And then I was wondering if you guys have been noticing this as well, but this entire cabinet was full of silver. But I didn't see a single person go through any of this silver. Like, I don't think any of it was bought. But maybe it's just me, but I feel like silver is not having a moment right now. But beautiful pieces, but I'll show you guys everything I picked up when we get back home. Friends, that was such a fun estate sale. I got there a little late. I was out on a walk, and then I was thinking, hey, I need to kind of start getting ahead for next week. I should probably film tomorrow. And then I was like, oh, look at what estate sales are near me. Happened to find an estate sale so close to my house. Went there for just like a couple hours. Super easy, super fun. I enjoyed it so much. And also, can we talk about the backyard? The backyard was impressive. Literally, my husband got off work and I told him to meet me there. And I was like, I'll be in the backyard by the fountain. And it was true. There were 2 fountains in the backyard. It was wild. That was a rich person house for sure. So crazy. I found a lot of great clothing. I found a few good home goods as well, mostly for myself, I think, but a few random pieces are sprinkled in. In total, I spent over $100 at this estate sale, but luckily not all of that is for the challenge because I'm trying to be really frugal with our money, even though I guess I don't have to be, but I'm trying my best because frugal is just kind of who I am. But I spent, for the challenge, $74.27. Very excited that I did not spend that much money, which means we're left with $8,310.49 heading into next week, which is great. But let me show you guys the clothing I found was amazing. I also found so many amazing, great pieces for us. I am so happy with the vintage kids clothes I found. Start with the only dress I found. This is a beautiful dress. It's going to be so hard to photograph. I hate myself already. No, I don't. I just do not look forward to trying to picture this because black is so notoriously hard for me to picture. But this is this gorgeous black velvet dress. I love this. I stumbled onto, I would say the best clothing room was the very last room I went to, of course. I went to the main floor, then I went to this back room, then I went to another back room, then I ended in this room with the most amazing clothing, which I am kicking myself that I didn't go there first. But you don't know when you're going into somebody's house. But I love, the bodice is gorgeous. It's kind of like almost a square neck. It's so nice and kind of wide. And then I'm hoping you'll be able to see this, but there's a lot of good pleats, almost like corseted details along the bodice of this piece. And I know it's gonna be blowing this out for sure because it's black, but it has a zipper down the back, and then it's almost like a curved, like a bubble hem almost. There's crinoline in the inside, so it definitely has some more structure to it. It's a gorgeous dress. I don't even know if I looked at the size or anything. I was just like, wow, that's beautiful. It's from ABS Evening Collection. I never sell this brand, but this is a stunning, very cool dress. Size 8. It looks like an actual size 8, so beautiful. If I have a friend that could wear this and model it for me for pictures, that would be so great. But I think this is a perfect Y2K vintage style. This would be such a beautiful prom dress, an event dress, a homecoming dress, a wedding guest dress. Oh, it's beautiful, guys. Absolutely stunning. I mean, I assume I list that for $65, $75. maybe around there. And that's literally how much I paid for everything. So I feel like we're doing pretty good so far. And then I discovered the most beautiful knit sweaters. I spent so much time looking through everything in that first room, and I feel like I put everything back that I pulled from the first room because later on I found so many more amazing pieces. And I think I might have gotten a video of the pricing, but the pricing was a set pricing for everything unless it was marked. And, you know, sometimes they just charge you up even if it's like that. But I think the sweaters were $8, I think is what I paid for most of these. But I feel like they were totally well worth it. Look at this gorgeous Fair Isle knit sweater. It's blue, and then there's like little oranges throughout this piece. A gorgeous little turtleneck on it. This is from Moda International, which, I mean, to me means not much, but it's 71% acrylic, 24 wool, 3% Angora rabbit hair, and 2% nylon. So I will be highlighting the wool and Angora rabbit hair on this bad boy. But gorgeous, beautiful sweater. Anything Fair Isle generally sells really well for me, usually around $50. So I'll probably list that one around $50. So pretty. I don't think I said the size, but I think it's a medium. Yeah, size medium. Beautiful sweater. And then I was this close to putting this sweater back, but I could hear you guys in my head as I held this up to the camera. I heard you guys all in my head being like, no, get the leaf sweater. So I was like, okay, for the people, for my imaginary expectation of your reaction, I was like, okay, fine, I'll get it, guys. This is an acrylic and cotton and nylon blend, size large, from a vintage Liz Claiborne sweater. But the pink leaf sweater, it's so pretty. It is a gorgeous knit. I think it's so charming. Oh my gosh, with some leggings in the winter. It's like a longer style so you could wear it and cover your booty. It's really pretty. It's a size large, and it looks like it is like a size large. I did find a flaw in it, and that's when I was going, that's why I almost decided not to get it. It does have these little marks right here on the sleeve. There's a little brown mark. I decided it was still worth it. Even if I only get $35 for this, I think it's so charming. It's such a beautiful sweater. I've never seen something like it. It's really cute. I love that it's pink too. If it was a different color, I might not have grabbed it either, but because it was pink, it was just like a no-brainer for me. This also was a very fun sweater. She had an amazing sweater collection. I saw somebody else leaving with another beautiful sweater that got there right before me, and I was like, oh, I should have gone to that room first. But this knit is so cool. Has like this kind of argyle diamond print, but then all these different like flora and fauna throughout. It's truly amazing. The sleeves have like a little paisley, then we have a tree, then I think we have a cluster of grapes over here on the side. So some fruit and a butterfly. Absolutely amazing. Beautiful knit piece. I love selling these sorts of things. This is actually, let me see, it's vintage Eddie Bauer. Would never have guessed it. It's also new with tags. It is dead stock. That's amazing. It still has the tag on here with the extra thread. Oh my gosh, it's a size medium, and it's got a date on it. It's from 1991, so it's over 30 years old. Amazing. It's 100% wool. Ah, so cool. Oh my gosh. I love selling things like this. And again, they usually sell really well for me for like $50, sometimes more. Also, I have so many people like wondering what the beef is with me and my neighbor. If you guys have watched a few of the last episodes, I've talked about it a little bit. I don't even know if anybody cares about this. If not, you can skip ahead. But when we first moved in, we waved to him for weeks. Like we tried to introduce ourselves multiple times, and he would like ignore us and walk away and keep his head down if he saw us. The one time he was outside and we went up to introduce ourselves. We're like, oh my gosh, hi. And he's like, I don't need any friends. That was our first interaction with him. And it's been really bad ever since. It's very frustrating. Anyways, long story long is that he does not like us and we have not done anything. It's just, I think he's, that's just kind of how it is. But anywho, all that to say, something about, I don't know how I got on the topic of my neighbor, but here we go. The next piece. Look at this gorgeous nightgown. It is stunning. Look at the sleeves. Can we talk about the sleeves? I almost like freaked out when I saw this. This is a beautiful nightgown, and it also has the same ruffle detail across the bottom here. I don't even know what brand this is, but I felt it and I was like, oh, this is a vintage cotton nightgown with the most stunning sleeves. I know people do sewing projects with these sorts of things all the time. Like this would make an incredible blouse with that sleeve. Like if you made this into a wrap top, oh my gosh. It's by the brand Julie of Slumber Togs. And I just now realized there is a little bit of a hole right here. I feel like this would be an easy thing to stitch up because it's on the seam. I have seen vintage nightgowns like that go for so much money because as a whole, I don't know, maybe 35 I think would even be pretty good. Another amazing sweater is this piece. This is truly cool. Look at this Fair Isle, really fun, colorful sweater. And this, my friends, is by Benetton, which Benetton can do really well. It depends on what you find. I'm expecting a vintage Benetton Fair Isle knit sweater like this to do excellently. I checked it all over for holes. I didn't see anything. It doesn't have a size tag. It doesn't have a fabric tag in this, but I would bet good money that this is 100% wool. It feels like wool. It's either that or Angora, but it's amazing. It's beautiful. I would say too, it looks like it's a size large. Incredible piece. Again, hopefully around 50 bucks for that. We have some more clothing, of course, but I also want to share with you guys, I found this pair of shoes in the basement after Jeremy had joined me and after I'd been through every bedroom and looked through every single piece of clothing. I almost dropped it. I looked in a random little like basket underneath a bench in the basement and I happened to find this pair of Red Wing shoes. These were amazing. I have no idea how much they charged me for these. I honestly don't even know if they did charge me because I feel like the numbers didn't really make sense to me when I was checking out. But these, I think were supposed to be $10 or maybe $15. But they are, I would say, in brand new condition. Like the bottoms look impeccable. It doesn't look like they've hardly ever been worn, if ever worn. They're Red Wing shoes. And I think that they might be the ones that have a steel toe as well. But these are in a men's size 10.5. And they're from 2013, it says. It also gives me the style name and all that jazz. But again, they look like they're basically brand new. So I would assume I can get at least 50 bucks for those. I have not found a pair of Red Wing shoes in a hot minute. So I was very excited to find those. That was the only pair of shoes I picked up at the sale. I didn't see any women's shoes really. Huh. I wonder where those all were, but that's okay. I also picked up a digital camera because I am getting into my home goods era. I've been trying to sell the things I found in the dumpster. I've been selling some random home goods I found at estate sales. I know that digital cameras can do really well. So I found this one and the comps for this looked really good if they work. They didn't have the charger for this camera there. So I will have to figure out how to charge this battery. I might have to buy like an Amazon battery charger and then I would include it with the sale of this. But I think it's going to be good. This is a Sony CyberShot. It's this Carl Zeiss 7.2 megapixels, super steady shot. Has a memory card in here. It does have the battery in here as well. So I think that's all great news. I know so many people have been loving having a digital camera lately. You can see yourself, hey guys, that's you, in the reflection there. But I do think that the comps for this looked like it would sell for around 75 to 100 bucks. So I decided to grab it for $5. Even if it doesn't work, I'm only out $5, which I mean, $5 can change your life. So it's not a small amount of money. But I will feel okay if I at least give it a whirl, give it a try. I have 2 more pieces of clothing I got to resell. Look at these incredible pants. They're so freaking cool. Look at those. I can't even. They're like patchwork pants. They're a little bit yellowed, but I feel like, I think these are a men's pair of pants, but I would be shocked if a girl didn't scoop these up and wear these. Are they not the most amazing thing you've ever seen? So freaking cool. So this is, let's see, it's from the brand Hickeys. So yeah, a men's piece. And it was from Hickeys in Grosse Pointe. So that must have been an older like department store, I'm guessing. That was over here. And then it says India Madras imported fabric, hand washable. Look at this tag. There's the India Madras fabric, Hickeys. It's a Madras pair of pants in the most insane blue and red patchwork I've ever seen. They are simply incredible. I don't see a size on these. I would wager they're maybe a 38, 36 to 38, somewhere in there, maybe a 40. I have no idea what I could get out of those. I've never found anything like it. I don't feel like there's gonna be a lot of things like it probably on the market, but I hope at least, hopefully around 50 bucks. Not bad, not bad. I did buy this little Brooks Brothers polo shirt for my husband for $4. I wanted to include that so you guys could see what I got him. just one little shirt for him. I did get this squirrel, which you probably saw on the thumbnail because I happened to be holding it when I came out of the estate sale. I had to make 2 trips. I did pay for this out of my own money. This was $12. This thing is hefty. I think it's cement. It might even be like cast. I don't know, but then it's painted. I don't really know what the material is that it is, but it's a black squirrel, which Michigan has black squirrels. We have a lot of black squirrels around us, and we've been working on our outdoor space a lot, so I wanted to get some cute little like lawn things, and they had so many amazing statues and things that we could have bought, but we were just like, I don't know how we're gonna get that in one piece to our home, and Jeremy was not as excited about some of them as I was. We have 2 more little home good pieces I picked up, and that was these little stained glass pieces. I'm wanting to maybe make like a little stained glass area in our sunroom. We have lots of windows and natural light in there, and I did buy a strawberry little stained glass, and I kind of have been thinking about maybe even making my own stained glass or getting into something creative like that because I love doing that sort of thing. But I found these. I think they charged me, there wasn't a price on these. I think they charged me like $4 each, which isn't expensive for stained glass, but I felt like was a lot at the estate sale. But this estate sale company is known for being expensive, so that does not surprise me. This is a beautiful little 3-leaf clover. I think that's so cute. And then I also got this little birdie there as well. I don't know if it looks like a bird per se, but there's a little beak over here. I don't know if you can see it. And she's on a little branch. I think that those were just darling, and to find them, I was just excited. They're so cute. Also, for context, I was checking out, and I spent like $100. I had to recheck out because I forgot my squirrel. I went back for it. As I was waiting, the person in front of me was like a teenage girl, and she had just a little goggles. Like she found a little pair of goggles and a light bulb, and they told her it was $6 for the both of those. And she was like, I think I'm okay, and walked away. And I was like, $6 for a used pair of little goggles and a light bulb? And it wasn't like a big light bulb. It was like a normal light bulb. I was like, what is going on here? The last piece of clothing I bought for reselling from the estate sale is this jacket. It is a stunning jacket. I love the color of this. This kind of like long, like mohair feeling fabric, bright pink with the black accents. Gorgeous piece. And it is from Tony Lambert Collections, made in USA. Stunning piece. It's so cool. I love these sorts of pieces. It's 85% mohair wool and 15% nylon. So I was right, mohair. Gorgeous piece. Doesn't have a size. Again, I would say more like a size large. Probably like a lady's size large. Absolutely incredible, like fuchsia pink color. It's stunning. It's simply stunning. But then I simply must show you guys the vintage kids clothing I found. This stack, it cost me almost $30. They charged me $2 per little kid piece. I was kind of thinking they might just give me a bulk discount. No, they just they went through and counted every single piece. I was like, okay, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Let's talk about them. Now, my plan right now is to keep all these pieces for us for the future. I did show these to Jeremy and he loved them too, but he also was like, Becca, we're gonna need people to not buy us any clothing for our future children. And I was like, you're not wrong. Maybe we can ask people to just give us things that are helpful for a baby and not clothing, because I love finding baby clothes for myself. I love it. Okay, first off, this little vintage onesie has all this lace detailing. So adorable. Y'all, I saw this and I kind of freaked out inside. Look at this little Minnie Mouse corduroy overalls, I would say. Made in the Philippines, 100% cotton, 12 months. Absolutely incredible. This pair I will look up. If these sell for a ton of money, I will sell them. If they are only like a $25 sale, I'm keeping them. They're so cute. The Minnie Mouse is so adorable. And so many of these are just literally perfect. I think they're so incredible. Look at this little sweater. It has 2 bunnies underneath a little tree. I don't know what kind of tree it is. Maybe a rose tree is what it's supposed to be, because these are 3D. It's so cute. It's so cute. I can't. Look at this one. I love the color on this one. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh. It's so adorable. This is from Plum Pudding. This is C.I. Castro and Company, 6 months. Guys, you know I love a little vintage baby girl clothing haul. I think that they are so incredibly darling and delicate. This is Polly Flinders, this little collared long sleeve dress. Adorable. Again, as I was telling you, $2 for each of these. This little collared, ruffled elephant piece. OMG. the most adorable thing I've ever seen. This piece I went back for because I saw her sorting the rest of the pieces after I went through them. I don't know if anybody else went through those kids' clothes. I'd already picked out all the ones I wanted, and then I saw this tag sticking out, and so I did grab this one too. This one has a little bit of a puff sleeve, not super ostentatious in any way, a little bit floral ruffle. What is ostentatious is that this is freaking Baby Dior. This little cute little ruffle thing is just charming. It has little flowers on the top and a ruffle across the booty. Precious. Love it. This is such a cool little overall piece too. I love the little pink with the heart buttons and then another elephant heart like patch. I truly am so happy. 6 to 9 months. And this is just kind of like a little plain shirt, but at that point I was just kind of grabbing. I had no idea how much they were. I had to ask them eventually. And this is from the Carriage Boutique, but again, I love a collar. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I love collars. I love the little embroidered details. I love it being puffy. I just love everything about it. It's so adorable. Smocking, it's a little plaid number. Truly adorable. This is a little bit more of a casual one. Oh my gosh, they're teddy bears. I thought these were flowers in the circle, but they're little teddy bears. Oh my gosh. I did not realize that when I first grabbed this. Oh, that's adorable. I love it. I love it. And then this is another one I went back for and I just grabbed because I was like, okay, if they're $2, then I guess I can get a few more. But this one is this little, again, kind of ruffled, lacy baby outfit. And it has the cutest little lace around the trim and a ruffle on the butt. I might keep most of those for myself. So I found all of those. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And then the last thing I got was a home good, okay? I don't think you're ready for it. This might be the piece that takes us over the $10,000 mark. Y'all, look at this vintage mixer. If you guys can't tell, this is a vintage KitchenAid mixer. There's actually a garage sale happening just a little ways away from this, and I picked this up there. This was 20 bucks. But guys, the KitchenAid mixer is such a classic, but very old ones or very new ones can do really well. This is an old one and it's really heavy, so I don't think I can hold it up for you. But it also comes with, I think this is the original KitchenAid, like the pamphlet that it came with. Desserts, whipped cream, angel food. It's just insane. This one is the KitchenAid attachments. Increase Miss K's usefulness in the kitchen. I don't know. I don't even know how old this is. My guess is it's from the 80s, the 90s. Like, and you can see the mixer picture right here. It's incredible. The glass mixing bowl, like, screws on. It's really cool. Really heavy. So I don't know how I'm gonna list it. I could just do it on Facebook Marketplace and try to do it around here. Or I could list it on eBay and it would probably sell really well on eBay, but then I'd have to pay a lot in shipping fees and hope it doesn't break. But I've done it before. I sold those vintage Pyrex pieces and those didn't break in shipping. So yeah, let me know what you guys would do. Because I looked at comps. It should sell for over $100, somewhere between $100 and $200. It's an amazing piece. I am not looking forward to having to ship it if I have to ship it. But I will if I need to. So got that, all those clothing, a pair of Red Wing shoes, the camera, and so many amazing sweaters to resell. I feel like this was such a win. I had so much fun going to an estate sale with you guys. Thanks for coming along with me. It always makes it much more fun. And again, can we talk about that backyard? It was kind of crazy. It was beautiful. So yeah, those are the pieces we're adding into the challenge this week. When you're watching this, it's probably 4th of July weekend. Hopefully I do not miss any videos, even with the holiday. I'm trying to keep up with it all. But if you guys don't see something listed, it's because we're heading into a holiday week and we'll probably be out of town for a few days. But I hope you guys enjoyed coming with me. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll catch you guys in next week's episode. Bye.